What is going down, everyone? It's time for Mojobreak.com, the hype episode 356. Football's here. You know, you guys are probably doing some fantasy drafts. We're going to talk a little football. We're going to have some amounts to spend and where we're going to put our money if we were buying certain rookies. So stay tuned for that. Also, if you want to get into some football breaks, we've got some awesome ones popping off this weekend. And there's even rumors we might be giving away some Super Bowl tickets. But if you use code NFL 2024 on Mojobreak.com, you can get 13% off. Big coupon. Only 50 people can use it, so use it early and often right now.
Use it quick.
Get in there. Get in on some composite. Get in on some select, because this
is where the live people that watch us live get a little extra benefit.
Exactly. I mean, you heard the man. You got to get in here and get it before anybody else. But jump in on some football breaks. That composite product's fantastic. We're going to talk that today, as well as Bowman Chrome's around the corner, and there's some weird cards that are coming out. We'll discuss. We're going to talk about ripping Olympic packs, I think. We may decide if we're going to rip Olympic pack or not. I think some of us are all in on ripping the pack. I don't know if I am, but
after you told me the price of what they're selling for, I'm like having doubts now.
Cody's all in.
I'm still all in.
He's dreaming.
I'm still. Yeah, I mean, we put out a video yesterday, and I will still hold to it. I sell that pack, and the person who rips it gets the card. I'm never gonna be able. I'm gonna be on my deathbed and being like, I should have opened the pack.
Here's a key thing too. Whether or not the 101 comes out before you even receive your package.
Yeah, the
that's
price
true.
will significantly drop, I'm sure.
Yeah. And the other thing to think about is that the price will drop of the packs for sure on the secondary market. However, if you get any numbered parallel of that card, that's still pretty significant considering they made 600,000 of those.
Right. I think there's 3,000. Somebody can check my math. I think there's 3,000. If you guys are wondering what we're talking about the Olympic triple auto. There was 588,000 individual cards sold. If you do receive a parallel, a variation, a numbered card, or the triple auto, they're coming in packs, which is kind of a new element of surprise to the Topps Now program, which hasn't happened in the past. But it's kind of, do you rip now? So it gives you that element, and that's why we're talking about it, is if you get a pack, you're at least getting a parallel. Are you going to take the chance and go for that millie? Because I heard Giannis is now going to pay you $1 million, fly you out. He's going to give you a couple of his personal logo mans, and probably, you'll be chopping up with Giannis a little bit,
Yeah, it's hard to turn down that deal, right? A millie, get to hang out with Giannis, and maybe, like you said, might be able to get one of his logo man straight from him.
Yeah, the ones that never made it in a product.
I'm like, Giannis, this is the deal, bro. I will sell you this triple for $1 million, but you have to let me just get one of those 101s I know you got in your stash.
He's saying he's giving 2 of them. He says he's going to give 2 logo mans.
Oh, he is going to give 2.
Yes. So not only is he going to give you the millie, which wasn't confirmed loosely, he said he will double the largest bounty, but I don't know if I don't know if he's aware that the bounty's $1 million. I mean, it is $1 million for Giannis.
Yeah.
So he's into it.
That's what I'm.
He's
that's
super
what
into it.
That's what I keep thinking, and we said it before. Like, I don't think he realizes how crazy this has gotten yet. But again, what's $1 million to Giannis? I mean,
$1 million to me sounds pretty fair for this card out the gate, right? No, you think it's more than $1 million
or less?
How much more than $1 million, or less than $1 million?
I was fine with a $250,000. I think is what I think it's valued at personally. I mean, how many people just have $1 million to spend on that? So in the world,
Shine.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, it drives up the price of the product and the demand and the chase.
2 logo mans. I'm taking one of those things and I'm trading Adam Rips from V-Friends for something.
Yeah. Just to be able to sit in Gary V's chair again? Or?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because you guys know Adam Ripp, he's a big Giannis collector, long-time Giannis collector. So, I don't know. Maybe I could get that rainbow for a long time. I don't know. No, he knows Giannis, though, personally. So
Does he?
Yeah, met him a few times already.
Got him on the hotline bling or what?
I mean, being a big Giannis, think about it. Like, how many other people have his actual rainbow, rookie rainbow in high grades? You know what I mean? Very few. Except he doesn't have the 101 black one. He says I think he said he knows where it is, but yeah, that's the only one he doesn't have.
So those in the chat or those that are listening to this, are you ripping the pack or are you going to sell it for $2,500? So you have and I don't know what parallels are going to pay for the $2,500 that you could possibly get.
I think
obviously the logo man will, but so you're saying you basically have like a 1 in 3,000 chance of making your money back.
I honestly think any of those parallels will reach at least 2,000. Any of those parallels.
I don't think the 99 would. Would you pay $2,500 for a number to 99 card?
Yeah.
I mean, I get like the number to 10 or the 101.
No, those will go crazy.
So literally, like, I mean, if you're trying to play like the straight and narrow route, you're like, this is the equivalent of like if like the Raiders were playing the Niners. You're gonna get like 20 times your money with the Raiders, but the chances of them winning are very slim. So it's like, you know what I mean? You have a 1 in 3,000 chance, just like the Raiders would have against the Niners, would be a 1 in 3,000 chance of winning.
I don't know if those odds are accurate.
This is tailor-made to just needle CRad right now.
I mean, the Raiders did beat the Chiefs, a team that the Niners cannot beat in the Super Bowl.
Well, you're not.
So I don't know how great those odds were last Christmas when the Raiders beat the Chiefs.
You're
but
not wrong.
I gotta imagine, the odds,
All right, I'll give it to you. The Panthers beating the Niners. That's like a 1 in 3,000 shot,
Okay,
right?
fair
Okay, I
Panthers.
mean, Bryce Young maybe has a better season.
What is
Depends
the?
on
I don't.
Bryce Young.
I'm not gonna say the Panthers are not gonna be the worst team in the NFL this year. What team do you guys think is gonna be the worst team in the NFL?
Ooh,
The White,
Like,
the White Sox.
the White, yeah, the White Sox are so bad they'll also beat the White Sox.
The Chicago. Somebody was saying, like, I read somewhere online, like, if you just
It's
bet.
insane how
I
bad
wonder if
they
it's true. Like, if you just bet against the White Sox for the rest of the season, you'll probably make money or something like
I
that.
couldn't believe they already had. We looked at it last week. I couldn't believe they already had 100 losses.
They are sitting. They just broke their single season record, which again, this is a franchise that has existed basically as long as Major League Baseball has existed. They
Yeah.
just passed their worst loss total of all time,
Of all time, I imagine.
and there is about 25 games left.
What's the most losses of all time in general?
I think it was that Tigers team from like, if you remember, like the 03 or 04 Tigers. I don't know if they were the number one or no, the 60, the
Detroit
Mets
Tigers?
in their very first year, I think were the worst. I'll look it up.
I was somebody else was telling me, they're like, man, as a former Oakland fan, it's like, don't feel too bad because I guess they showed, like, they did an overhead view of what the White Sox games. There's like 5 people there.
It's bad.
I mean, I
it's
would go
real
there
bad.
at this point.
Yeah. Why would you go? Why would you go? I mean, I guess I will say this.
You still have Louis Bobby out there?
So
or?
they do, and he's
Barely?
not having a good year. And he got hurt, but he's not having a great year. 120 is the worst. That's the 62 Mets first year in existence. 2003 Tigers had 119. They were one off.
So the White Sox have a shot.
White Sox have a real shot. I believe they're in the middle of a 13-game losing streak. They had a 20-game losing streak earlier this season.
Let's get in the record books, baby.
And the San Francisco Giants lost a game to them. So, that's how the Giants season's going.
Tough,
Rip.
Yeah.
Blech.
Yeah. Out of it.
That's a
Tough
rip.
division.
They
Tough
are
division.
they are out of it.
We also got some exciting news, guys, on Fanatics Live Monday, the 9th, the day of the big game, Jets-Niners, here in Santa Clara. We're going to have Gary V in studio in the shop in Santa Clara. And if you're
It's
in
a
Santa
V
Clara,
friend. It's a V friend.
it's a V Friends, and we're going to be doing V Friends Series 1. If you guys haven't seen V Friends Series 1, they only made 1,000 boxes, and these things are going for like 5,000 a box. We're going to be giving away all the cards on Fanatics Live, so you got to join in. It's around noon Pacific on Monday. Just go ahead and bookmark the show right now. But I had a fun little game because obviously the Niners are going to beat the Jets on Monday night. So what I was thinking is I'm going to take some V Friends characters out of Series 1, and I'm going to compare them to Niner players. There's 268 V Friends characters. I'm sure you can find one you like. They have merchandise for all of them. So if you really love one, you can get a sweatshirt of Patient Panda, for example. So, but we're going to start off with Patient Panda, Trent Williams. The guy basically was patient, got the bag. He's out there. First ballot Hall of Famer. Mojo Mouse, which is my favorite character for many reasons, we got Debo because the guy is just so elusive, whether he's in the passing game, whether he's in the running game. He's getting out in the open spaces just like a mouse would. And then Podcast Panther, we got Fred Warner because he does podcasts, and he's also on the field. He's just a defensive prowess like a Panther would be. Not the Carolina Panthers, but, the Panther animal. Very, 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 very lucky Black Cat would be Brock Purdy because, Mr. Irrelevant, third on the depth chart, probably not going to make the team. It happens. All the stars align, and now he's going to have the greatest 3 quarterback seasons of all time this year. So, and then lastly, we've got the badass Bulldog would be Bosa. I mean, I don't even have to explain that one the guy's on track to be a Hall of Famer already, and it's insane. So I'd like to hear the Jets version of this. I know it's going to be a struggle finding 5 players that anybody even knows, but maybe you could do that one.
Yes, Aaron Rodgers, Brees Hall, Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, and Quinn Williams.
Ronnie Lott.
Very, very lucky cat for Brock Purdy is an interesting one because that is Gary V's Mickey Mouse. That is the character he wants to be best known for, representing the V-Friends brand. It's the most rare V-Friend. If you were talking about the whether it's the cards or whatever. So Brock Purdy is a very, very lucky black cat.
Well,
I guess I could see it because he was the last pick in the draft. It's a very crazy road that he had to take to get to where he is, I guess you could say, with Lance getting hurt, right?
And if we're just
Garoppolo.
Yeah.
And Garoppolo, yeah.
And if we're just basing it off of, like you said, like he is that character is sort of like the mascot of the V-Friends. I mean, you could make an argument that Brock Purdy is the face of the 49ers.
Is he?
Yeah, I mean,
I think so.
There's an argument to be made that it's CMC. There's an argument to be made that it's Nick Bosa. There's an argument to be made that there's a lot of guys, frankly.
Might be
I mean, it's a
like,
good team.
maybe like a Kittle because of the Netflix
Kittle,
thing.
absolutely. Could be Kittle, too. But I think if, like, the test would be if they were to win a Super Bowl, when they win the Super Bowl. Thank you, sorry.
Yeah,
I
no.
need to be confident.
Not it. They'll win.
The guy who will be front and center, the guy we'll all be talking about is almost assuredly Brock Purdy.
Yeah, you guys have a chance of getting there again.
Yeah, it might be.
Winning, yeah. It's a whole nother thing.
Depends on who we play. But, also just to add in, like if you guys aren't involved in V-Friends, and they're only on Series 2, so V-Friends Series 1 was more of a concept, so that's why they're a little more hand-drawn. And don't listen to the
All
podcast.
hand-drawn
Don't listen
by
to the
Gary Vee.
podcast that Cody had a couple years
I
ago.
can neither confirm nor deny what was said on that podcast. I can tell you I might have been possessed. There's a chance I was possessed by some unholy spirit, and that made me say things.
I think you and Dan were both pretty hard on the hand drawing.
But let's just say if we get something, if Gary says something on Monday, who's that guy who said something? I listened back to your podcast. I'm not going to hide. I'm going to fess up. I'll be honest.
Okay.
And you know what I'll say? Guess what? I'm clearly wrong. So what does it matter that old me, whatever I said?
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show the marketing prowess of
Absolutely.
Him, his brand.
And there was never any denying that. There's never any denying. The guy's a marketing genius. Like, there's no denying that.
I mean, it's just like putting garbage pail chrome and Bowman Chrome, which we'll get into later, guys. But the very, very lucky black cat 1 of 1
I didn't hear about that.
has not been pulled, and that is the equivalent of the Wemby Superfractor, in the V-Friend Series 1. And there was only 1,000 boxes made. We still have one. I don't know how many boxes are left. It's been like 2 years since this product's been out. So there's a chance that somebody's going to win the product hit on Monday night right before the Niners beat the Jets.
Damn,
you
the prospect of that.
So
It's
it could be in that
amazing.
box. So we'll see. But speaking of 101s, I think it's a great time to get in a bit this week in the hobby. Multiple Wemby Superfractors were pulled out of Topps Chrome Basketball. The Helix was pulled by Blaze. So can we say the Helix was pulled by Blaze? The Helix was pulled by Blaze because we didn't mention him in the Instagram ad.
That was an accident.
We did, and then one of their employees was really mad about it. So I'm sorry, we didn't do it on purpose. But we said 3 times on this one. So
Geez, an honest
BlezSportsCards.com.
mistake. But then when they post up about us, it's like it never happened, I guess.
I don't think they post us, to be fair, but it's,
No, not like on
They
social
were
media.
right.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
right. It was their photo.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Honest mistake. No
Honest
malicious
mistake.
intent.
Yeah, I mean it's an honest mistake. It's not like we didn't do it on purpose.
Anyway.
So
Yeah.
But a lot of and speaking of them, that Wemby, the one, the $1 million bounty that Jared Blaze put out, that card has been hit. As far as we know, I saw him post something up saying, pick up the phone to the guy who pulled it. Like, I want your card. So that has been out there in the $1 million
Which is a
bounty
good
still in
move
effect.
because
but I'm sure
sometimes
his phone is
sometimes
ringing though, bro.
Oh, yeah.
That kid's phone is ringing, dude. I'm telling you.
maybe he's thinking he can get a little bit more. I mean, you got to give a shout out to Jared on that because sometimes you hear these bounties and you don't really hear anything about them anymore, and it's like sometimes you wonder if these bounties were put out because you want to sell product, right? So it's one of those things where he came out and like, hey man, I'm right here. Contact me. So as a man of his word, do you take that $1 million, or do you have hopes that card's worth more than $1 million?
Man, who am I to turn down $1 million? But God, being somebody who is in the camp that really thinks that Wemby is going to be that next generational player, I guess I'm in the hold camp. But like 99% of us, like, we can't turn down $1 million.
I think the math here is different if this is a officially licensed product.
No, I don't think so.
I think I'm holding it if it's officially licensed. The fact that it's unlicensed, because I agree with you.
But it's like, when are you going to get another
you're right.
logo
This is
rookie Victor Wembanyama
I guess
one-on-one?
there is the other part of like, and I think it's something that maybe
it's his rookie. That's the way you got to roll with it. Like,
right.
As much as we hate the Steph Curry card, that's his rookie chrome.
Right.
Like, we have to.
But at least that though has his logo on it. It's a lot. The team logo on it. It is licensed. I know. But it is still
white t-shirt.
technically a licensed product.
It is a licensed product.
But so I guess there's that. But at the same time, you're right. There is a point where it's like, we just got to get over it. This is what it is. This is the card, and it's still it still looks good. And again, they took that picture in a way where whether it's airbrushed or not, you can't tell because they did that on purpose. So yeah, but it's tough because I agree with you, CRad, especially after watching the Olympics. I am fully on board with this guy's going to be the best player.
I
in
was
the
in the
NBA
camp
like
of that, like when during his rookie season last year. It's like he almost won Defensive Player of the Year as a rookie. So we already know defensively he's like at Gobert's level, if not even better than Gobert defensively. But he can do all the things that Gobert can't do as a big man, like offensively, dribble, shoot the three, hit the three.
I guess I have a question of longevity because, I mean, how many guys of that stature or even 7 foot plus guys are like, man, that guy played for 20 years,
That's fair.
Got a lot more bone mass to have issues with, right?
That's fair.
We haven't seen it. We just, we haven't seen it. We saw, and we have so many other stories where we've seen it go the other way. The Yao Mings. I mean, that's the first guy
carrying
who comes
a lot
to
more
mind.
weight, though. Yao
He
Ming.
was carrying a lot more weight. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think the idea with, like, the idea, anytime we see a super skinny guy like Chet Holmgren, Kristaps, and now Wemby, people are always like, oh, he needs to put on weight. But I think their camp, from what I understand, they're trying to keep him lean, actually, because they've seen it work for Gobert, where Gobert stayed lean. And he's been having a pretty healthy career.
Right, where like Steph, I think as Steph got older, he was getting pushed around too much as he lost his speed.
He had to bulk up.
Yeah.
He had to bulk up.
But
right?
he's a tiny guy.
He's a tinier guy, yeah. Tiny as he's like 6'4".
Yeah. It's always so funny when we're like, he's so endearing. He's a little guy. He's like, he's 6'4".
Still 5 inches taller than us.
Yeah. Exactly.
He walks in
if
here.
If he walked
like,
in here right now, we'd all be looking up at him.
Yeah, it's so funny in comparison to everybody else in the court. But yeah, I think I got to take the $1 million. I mean, we're not talking about, so you can get 10,000 where you can 10,000 isn't necessarily life changing. I mean, it could be, but $1 million's life changing.
99% of us, like even with me saying like I would want to hold it, I don't know if I could actually turn down $1 million.
No, there's no way.
How does tax implications work on that? I'm no CPA.
450 off the gate where we live.
What to say? Yeah, stash about half of that away for tax day.
Yeah. So you're really getting like 600,000. Yeah.
Still ain't half bad.
Still pretty good. Can almost buy a house around here. Almost.
Yep.
That's a lot of down payment, dude.
Yeah. 60% of a house.
You can maybe buy a starter home. Maybe.
Buy a really nice RV though.
Yeah, you could.
Really nice one.
Did you guys hear about the kind of going off topic here a little bit, but within California, like, is it true that a lot of the insurance companies are leaving Cali because of how expensive it is to insure like houses and cars?
I think the rates have gone up, and then they regulated the rates.
I think because specifically because like all the that's what I heard. I don't know if it's true. That's like crazy. Like Geico is gonna leave California.
I know. I was gonna say I have the Lizard, and it's pretty good.
It's like y'all better stop running them commercials out here if you're not gonna sell us insurance.
I bet if I see that caveman on my TV, I swear to God.
But here's a good question, a little off topic, as we're going to get into some Bowman talk and some football picks here shortly. But Geico Lizard, is that like a top 5 mascot of all time right now?
Yeah.
Ooh, so we're okay. Now
let's lay the groundwork
mascots. Here. Non-sport. Okay.
Non-sport mascot. Yep, he is.
Because I was thinking Mojobreak needs a mascot. You know?
Oh man.
You know, because it's like that's how you run
And
out on ads.
this is a great thing that maybe we even bring this up to Gary Vee on Monday of like, you just came up with this parade of mascots essentially. Maybe it's like, we got to figure out a Mojo. We got to figure out a Mojobreak one.
Like a Mojo Mouse.
we can't take Mojo Mouse. That's already been taken.
That's funny that you brought that up because, I mean, I don't know if you saw. You probably did see it. Gary Vee talked about this exact same thing.
Yes.
Where it's like, companies these days don't realize the power of the mascot because the companies, some companies like Geico, they're so successful because people know that lizard, right? And then like a lot of companies think it's like maybe like not cool to have a mascot or whatever these days, but it's like you're able to have a brand mascot out there representing your company. It doesn't necessarily need to be a face of a person, right? It needs to be like people just recognize it from that mascot. So I think there's some value there in having a mascot for a company like Mojobreak.
Well, because I think insurance is boring, right? So you've got, I mean, I just thought of the Aflac, right? The
Aflac duck.
You know, with Gilbert Gottfried, his voice, rest in peace. But, you know, that was iconic, and you remembered Aflac because of that. Anytime you've seen an Aflac, you know, you just remember that.
Yep.
I've got a list right here of famous non-sport brand mascots, essentially. The Michelin Man.
Yep.
Mr. Peanut.
Yep.
Mickey Mouse is kind of in between. It almost feels like a cheat.
Yeah.
Like, yes, is he a mascot? Sure. But he's also like a character, like an actual cartoon.
But his silhouette is
personality.
on everything, right?
The Jolly Green Giant, Monopoly Man. Oh, this guy, Tony the Tiger.
Yeah.
He might be number
They're
one.
great.
Tony the Tiger might be Mount Rushmore.
Only Frosted Flakes, though, right?
Only Frosted Flakes. Kool-Aid Man.
All them cereal mascots are pretty recognizable.
Count Chocula.
Mr. Clean. You got the Pillsbury Doughboy. You got, they say Mario too, but that doesn't feel.
Yeah, Mr. Clean,
Feels like a different place, yeah.
on the paper towels.
Chester Cheeto, the M&Ms. There's the Geico Gecko right there in the top 20. So, yeah, he's up there.
And then, Anheuser-Busch with the Clydesdales.
The Clydesdales, yep.
Who had
They had a whole.
Who had the dog with the black the Spud McKenzie? Was it Spud McKenzie?
Oh,
no.
jeez. I know exactly what you're talking about, though. I'm not. See, I'm confusing him with the. This is like
the Target dog. No.
Oh yeah, was that what it was? It was the Target dog.
No,
yeah.
but it was
Spot?
like there was a dog before that, but I think they pivoted from the dog.
I think
it was
know
like
what
Bud
you're
Light. Was it a Bud Light dog? Let me see.
It might have been. It might have been. Yeah. Chat, help us out. We're the non-sports mascots. Yeah, I totally agree with. We need more mascots. It's also just fun. You know, in an era of like where design is getting.
Yeah,
I
Spud
think,
McKenzie was the Bud
Yeah.
Light dog. So I think it was when they rolled out Bud Light, right? It was in need of a mascot, and I don't think they use them anymore.
In an era where I feel like a lot of design is getting really like, as I call the only way I can call it is the Apple Storeification of like design, where everything, the character and like personality of stuff is being taken away for like it looks clean and sharp, and it's like, but that's like, let's have a little fun, like. I don't know. We were talking about even like the Chuck E. Cheese stuff and all that before we were recording. Like and they take all the fun away. Like, I don't know. Let's have some fun.
Yes,
More personality.
mascot.
Let's
we
get a
figure
little
it out,
goofy.
Though. Like, but we do sports players. You can't have like a faux sports player, can you? I mean,
look at every like when we were growing up, McDonald's used to be big and colorful, and you'd see Ronald McDonald and Grimace everywhere, and now they all look like big square gray boxes. It's no fun.
yeah.
Maybe that's on
And
purpose.
$20 for a Happy Meal.
And $20 for a Happy Meal. Come on now. Although Grimace has kind of made a comeback recently.
Well,
so
I mean, they
good for
couldn't
him.
have Ronald McDonald because they don't know what his pronoun is anymore, so they can't have. I'm kidding.
Frankly, don't know if Ronald McDonald is of this earth. Like, who
Yeah,
knows?
that's true.
He might.
And then those movies started coming out, like, and then you kind of like,
yeah, I remember they had the
yeah, and then it's
I
kind of
remember
you looked at him a little different of a light, like he might be like in a van with candy or something. So, might be Chris Hansen might be showing up.
those. What are those Happy Meals actually made of, Ronald?
So, anyways, Mojobreak needs a mascot. We got maybe we'll figure something out. Maybe get a
A
contest
national
going.
contest, dude.
Because I mean,
I like
not to mention a competitor, but Filthbomb has a mascot.
Is it the bomb?
The bomb with the thing in the face.
Then we got to look up. We got to call some mascot companies where we got to get a costume made and stuff. Figure that all out. Yeah, this will be.
Did you guys see us in their video, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty good
Good stuff. Good stuff. Shout out to them.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't see this
Yeah,
video.
well, I'll show you off air. It would be bad radio here if I showed you. So we'll move on. So yeah, I think we've covered everything in this week of the hobby. I guess touch on this Bowman Chrome. The Bowman Chrome's coming out next week, September 11th. Which I know that date every time I say
9/11.
Every time I say 9/11. Bowman Chrome. It's going to be highlighted by Leo DeVries, if you're wondering, Padres prospect, who supposedly is not Ethan Salas. He's got 5 tools. He's the real deal. So I think he'll be the biggest chase going forward. Some things to note: the Mets have 11 prospect autos, which is crazy.
A lot.
So if you're looking at them for a value as a value team to get,
and that does include Vladdy, right? Vlad. We were talking about this on a previous episode.
Yeah,
Vlad Jr.'s brother, who is also Vlad Jr., but they call him Vladdy.
yes,
So confusing.
Yeah, it's a little
super confusing.
But yeah,
And
he's on the Mets.
And the Rangers are pretty loaded with prospects, plus Langford, Evan Carter, rookie autos.
Yeah.
They're a good team to get. But they just recently announced this Garbage Pail Kids in the set. I gotta say, I'm not a fan.
This is going to be its own standalone set from everything.
No, I thought there was going to be Garbage Pail
Are there gonna
inserts
be
in
in
Bowman
it?
Chrome. Maybe I'm wrong. I should
Let's
do
look
some
it up.
research.
No, you're right. That would be quite a
it?
turn.
SPs, yeah. They're like
They
one
are
in every
SPs.
244 boxes. It's going to be hard to
Wow.
hit, but
Now, is this players that are going to be drawn in the aesthetic of?
I think so because they have
Garbage Pail Kids?
Paul Skeens.
Yeah, I'll be dang.
Okay. I can get down
Okay.
with it if one, they are super rare, and then one, if the artwork is decent. You know what I'm saying?
It's Garbage Pail regular.
Garbage Pail, I guess. So like,
It's the
I
same
gotta
art they've always had.
I gotta see as example.
I will say
There is some pictures here. I'm trying to find a checklist.
we have some pictures up on the slide here. I'll put it up on the slide. But the one thing I was gonna say about this, because I think they're doing like a Garbage Pail Kids Green Day set, which is like the perfect use for that brand. Like I feel like Green Day goes really well with Garbage
Yeah,
Pail
we were talking
Kids.
about the music thing before. Yeah.
Right. I think that goes hand in hand. This though, like, and maybe modern Garbage Pail Kids are not. I haven't really looked at them that much. The modern stuff. I'm like, why? You're kind of holding yourself back by doing baseball because it can't be as gross out. Like the whole fun of it is it's kind of gross and weird, and whereas these are very tame.
Yeah.
I feel like the only one where I'm like the Jordan Lawler one where he's like a cactus is kind of like, all right, you did something there, but like they just have Jackson Churio going down a slide.
Yeah.
Like that's not.
I mean, so here's the thing. I've praised Fanatics Tops here for the last year and a half about how I love that they're introducing new elements to every single product that they're coming out with. So it's like every product that we've been used to for the last decade, there's been a new wrinkle in every single product, like something new to chase, right? So I've definitely been praising them on that aspect. So now it's like, last year they had the retrofractors in Bowman Chrome. That was the first release that had the retrofractors. So this year, they're probably trying to think of something new to do, right? You can't just that's the thing that why Panini and Topps for a long time was stagnant, because they would just rely on the same thing every single year, right? So I give them props for trying something new, but will it stick? I don't know. Like the card, like I'm looking at the Paul Skeens ones. That one looks okay.
Yeah, I will say
the only thing that'll make it worth it is if they are super rare.
Yeah, I will say that
It looks like it's all rookies too.
okay, which is you're never really chasing rookies in these sets, so that at least gives you a little more incentive to chase the rookies. And I will say the fact that and I don't know why, but I feel like that it's not a standalone set and it's something included. I'm like, okay, I'm more cool with that. Like if this was a standalone set, I'm like, that feels like we're pushing it a little bit.
Yeah.
It being included, okay, I can get behind that.
Like a little bonus.
Yeah.
Short
That's
print
fun.
bonus.
Yeah, it'll be fun to get those. I do like the Paul Skeens one.
They have Jackpot Jackson for Jackson Churio, Dominating Dominguez, Artsy Ellie, Jagged Jordan, Hovering Holiday, and that's all I see.
Yeah, there's also Sonny Marcello. So there are some prospects. Marcelo Mayer,
Artsy Ellie, huh?
Artsy Ellie, 5-tool Drew.
Now, are these also going to be in the set? I'm looking at it too. Planted Pete for Pete Crow Armstrong.
Yep, Captain Walker that's Walker Martin. So yeah,
Max Elevation for Max Clark, it looks like.
Yeah. So there will be a few of the prospects. Some of the big prospects will be included as well.
Sweet. Yeah. I mean, cool little bonus. I like to see them in
Fun
person.
little bonus.
Yeah, I mean, can't we just create Copy it like a downtown or something. I mean,
They have. They're
No,
called home field advantage.
this is-
home
now
field
this
advantage
is-
Chrome.
This is where I will defend them. Is exactly that. Like they're tapping into some of the iconic brands they have outside of baseball
And then
to
I
be
w-
like, why don't we integrate it here rather than being like, it's Helix. It's actually just a color blast. Like,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
respect that.
and then like if this isn't hit, like Doug's not enjoying it. If this isn't hit with a lot of people, they'll just switch it up next year and include something else, some type of other new design.
Yeah.
No, this is like them sitting at the boardroom and going like, what's our weakest IP? Garbage Pail Kids. Okay, let's shove it down Bowman Chrome collectors' throats and hopes that they'll go ahead and buy the next GPK set that comes out, and then we'll be able to show some more revenue in the GPK brand. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
GPK Green Day.
It's like when you order something and then they like, oh, well, here's a little sample of something else we have. Like you bought like something from Crumble and then they send you a little side thing of something you didn't even want, but because they want you to come back and buy that because they have a lot more of that one. But we'll see.
Super duper raisin cookie. One coupon
Pudding.
off
Yeah.
of that one. It's like, oh, yeah, great. I want triple the raisins in my cookie. Cool. Great.
Yeah.
Even free, I don't want this. Garbage.
Crumble's wild though. They have a new
Crumble's real good.
menu every week.
They're real tasty. I like
They're
it.
pretty good. Not good.
They
on
have a lot of
calories.
knockoffs now too.
They
Of
have
Crumble.
a
A lot of
yeah.
knockoffs.
There, before Crumble, there was a place downtown that was like that I think were called Knox. I don't know if they're still around, but they were.
Oh, yeah.
Real
Those
good.
are good too.
Man, so good.
All right, let's talk some NFL preview.
Yes, sir.
Which rookie will the hobby love? Which QB is on the rise? And who's destined for a downfall? The entire state of Las Vegas is destined for no. Okay, I like Minshew. So talking about rookies, it's going to be a weird year with licensing issues, but Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Marvin Harrison Jr., Rome Odunze, Malik Neighbors. Who do you think, CRad, start with you, if you're going to collect or you're going to put one on your fantasy team, which guy do you think is going to be hobby's favorite?
Out the gate, I mean, it's so cliche, so obvious, but like I guess it's got to be Caleb Williams. He has the pretty much the keys to the team, so I feel like he has the most room to do some spectacular things as his rookie season. Yeah, I mean, besides him, like he would be the one. See, this is when we're talking about hobby terms. It's like it's so weird right now with the whole Panini and Topps thing, and Panini barely putting out any 2024 products yet. It's like he would be the one I would be going for, like most people. But what exactly am I collecting of him? Like,
Yeah, I mean, he is set up. I can't remember a rookie rookie quarterback that's had that much receiver talent.
Yeah,
With DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and possibly Rome here, seeing how he turns out. But yeah, I mean, we don't know. I mean, we got Topps Motif, I think, supposed to come out next week, which is still under the 2023 umbrella. I don't know when we're going to get 2024 airbrush Caleb Williams cards. I mean, we will be getting some Panini stuff, but you got to remember, Panini still got Flawless, still has National Treasures
of the previous year
of 2023.
Yeah.
So we may not see anything from Caleb until maybe halfway towards the end of it, maybe even towards the end of the season.
NFL uniform wise, because we are
Right.
getting college stuff.
We're getting a little bit of college stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna get college stuff from Panini in terms of base, like scores coming out next week.
Oh, I did say the entire
then,
state of Las Vegas, didn't I? I didn't realize I said Nevada, yeah. Trying to make a rip and I sound stupid.
Score comes out, and then Prism Draft comes out at the beginning of October. So you will see college-based parallels of him, but we're looking for those pro uniform stuff, and we might not get that for a while. Origins, that might be the first one,
Yeah.
possibly with the even, but those are going to be even airbrushed.
And
right?
you won't have the ink of those guys either.
Yeah,
so.
you won't. But
I think this year, even more so than the previous year, is they got to get real creative with base cards. Like, and like Panini won, it just suffered. Like they could have put relics of Stroud.
yeah,
I mean, the Texans they have a 1 in 100 chance of getting a card in a case.
yeah, it's basically the inserts, and that's it. The
Right,
color
right,
blast.
and it's only 1 in every 20 boxes. So you got, and how many inserts are there? You know what I mean? It's like stuff. You needed something like at least another 10, 20 cards of relics, maybe all prime or something. Like got to figure something out to make sure that we get these cards and they're chaseable and these products are good. It's going to be a challenge for them. So
yeah, and it's still, we think we figured out a couple weeks ago. It's still 2 years left for the NFL contract with Panini.
Yep.
Basketball ends next year, so Topps will be able to. Their next Chrome release next summer is going to be probably officially NBA license.
right.
But football here, we still got 2 years to go. So, you're looking at 2 years of whatever this past 2023 product looked like. That's what it's going to look like for the next 2 years.
And something to keep in mind before I get Cody's pick here is a lot of people don't realize everybody's been, loving composite, which I agree. Composite's been fantastic, 2023 composite football. But the Topps does not have the Players Association license, which for basketball they do. So that's why you're seeing Jason Tatum and Drew Holiday and
All the regular guys.
Regular guys that they have, Braun, stuff like that. So if you don't have a PA license and you're making product, you can only include up to 5 active players. So maybe in the next 2 years, they're going to only have 5 active players. So right now, it might be pretty cool to see Jamal Charles and Herman Moore and stuff like that. But for 2 years, are we still going to be excited about that, right? So, but what I'm seeing from collectors on that product, which is cool, is they're saying, well, I break a contender's box and I get a 7th-round Green Bay offensive lineman as my auto, which is worth $1. I'd rather see a Jamal Charles, who I remember playing as a fantasy player, or Herman Moore, or the chance of Joe Montana. I'd rather have old retired vets that have a little bit of value in my eyes than a guy that's probably never going to be of any value that's a 7th-rounder. So 2 trains of thought on that. But once they do get the full license, they will be more like having the 4th round, 5th round, 6th round guys.
Yeah.
That also allows – I was trying to remind people when we were first selling the first couple cases of composite last weekend, I was reminding people, like, because of that, they're able to load it up a little bit more with the big-name rookies that you actually want.
Yeah.
So that's why you're seeing so many Strauss, Youngs, and Levis coming out of that, because it's just like, they have limited people to work with, limited players to work with. So you're never, like, once they have the license, you're not going to see a product this loaded with the rookies that you actually want.
Right, exactly. The top 4.
You're not going to get Bryce Young 3 times in a case, Will Levis twice, and C.J. Stroud auto once in an entire case all together.
Not going to happen.
You're going to see one of them maybe in like 2 years from now. You're going to see one of those guys, top rookies, in a case.
And I also think the perspective is they signed these guys to exclusives and they weren't able to really use them. So they weren't like, Panini will have 40 releases and they may have, 10,000 stickers of a guy. They have to space them out.
It up.
So this is like the first release. They could have been just went ham and not even worried about it.
Somebody in that's a good point, because somebody in the chat was like, "Don't you think this is like they're oversaturating the market?" I'm like, no, because there's no other products with them with their autographs. Yep. Like, this is like one of probably the only 5 maybe that doesn't come out for the 2023 release.
Yep.
All the other 2023 boxes you're looking at, none of them have their autographs. So it doesn't oversaturate the market, because we've had 40 Panini products this year and none of them had autos of these guys. So one release that overloads it, where you're getting them multiple times a case, that's not going to oversaturate the market at all.
Yeah, absolutely. So back to which rookie will be your hobby favorite? Who are you picking, Cody?
Caleb feels like the obvious answer. It also feels like the right answer. I will throw some love to Jaden Daniels. I do think he will be, like, if all goes well, I think he can, like, in a division that is not as strong as the NFC North. I'm not saying, like, the NFC East is super weak, but, like, we saw the Eagles at the end of last season. The Cowboys are always kind of a mess, and there's maybe some room there for a team to sneak up. I could even see the Giants doing better this year. I think that they're not. I'm not saying they're like going to win the Super Bowl or make the playoffs. I'm just saying I think things even out a little bit in that division.
I think there's one team in that division that's going to be good this year. It's the Eagles.
I mean, the Eagles are probably still winning that division. I'm just saying. That team was a mess at the end of the year.
I do like the fact that, what people all don't realize is you got Dan Quinn as the coach, or the guy that. The coach of it was on the Falcons, that team that lost Super Bowl. So, but you have Cliff Kingsbury as the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's huge.
So,
good coach.
That's a good coach for Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
Terry McLaurin. They got some decent pieces. Their running back stable is average, but could outperform. I think the guy I'm going with, just because LSU receivers always sell, Jefferson and Chase. I like Malik Neighbors here, because I think the Giants, big city that's like the Jets, is just hungry for something. They put their faith in Daniel Jones. They're not going to have Saquon Barkley. I think Malik Neighbors, it follows the path of Chase and Jetta, and kind of really debunks the don't buy receivers or running backs trend that happens in this hobby where everybody goes for quarterbacks. Well, Jefferson and Chase have proved you guys wrong on that. Yeah. So I think Malik Neighbors could fit in that category. The question mark, obviously, is Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I was like, man, like, I hope you're right, but Danny Dimes.
This is it. Like this is it. This is his make or break year. And we'll get to that in a bit, but like this is definitely his make or break year. Can I throw out real quick? He's kind of in the dark horse, but I will throw. Not really. He's a first rounder, but like Xavier Worthy and the Chiefs.
Yeah,
that just feels like that's gonna work out really well.
Yeah,
guy's got top notch speed. The moment he got picked, everyone went, "Oh God." Dang it. Like this is gonna work so well. Mahomes didn't have anybody to, quote unquote, didn't have anybody to throw to last year. And now they've got this guy who could just burn everybody on the field. Like, yeah, that's one where I think, especially week one, where we overreact to week one performances in this hobby. We've seen it Thursday night game. It would not shock me to see Xavier Worthy put up some.
That's the only thing that the Chiefs' offense was missing, that downfield threat ever since.
Well, they have Hollywood Brown too, but he's not going to start.
Yeah.
So. Who could be a deep threat? We don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
If he bro, let me get started. If he has both them fools,
it's not even fair. It's not even fair. It's just not fair.
But Patty Mahomes, he's not that good though.
This is also the thing going into just from a fan perspective. And yes, this is maybe the most biased anti-Chief room you could be in right now. You have a Raider fan and 2 Niner fans, but God, am I just getting like so tired of just like looking like all right, time to predict the season. Well, I just feel resigned. What's gonna happen?
There's gonna be a point. He's gonna reach a point in his career like Brady, where it's gonna be like a 5, 6, 7 year stretch where he doesn't win. So let's just
really
like
hope we're there.
let's just get there and then we'll celebrate then.
This is and look, if it's not the Niners, which again, God willing, and please for our sanity, please let it be the Niners. If it's not, the only other team I can even see right now is like a legit threat is one. Well, actually, 2. The Joe Burrow is healthy, and that man likes to beat the Chiefs.
Chase goes on the field.
And 2, the Houston Texans. They're just putting everything together. I know they're the sexy pick right now, but like you look at it and go, it makes sense. Like everything's coming together. Another year of Stroud,
and I drafted Stroud on my team, so I'm expecting big things.
You have a healthy young receiving core. You've added Stephon Diggs. Like everything. And DeMeco Ryans is maybe the best, one of the best up and coming coaches in the league. Like everything is going their way right now. It feels like the if anyone's going to dethrone him, it's
you just said that because he came from the Niners.
Well, sure. I'm again biased.
It's good,
but but also the proof's in the pudding. Look at last year. I know he had an amazing generational young quarterback, but that's a crazy jump they took.
I do like Saleh as a coach. He's a great coach.
He's a very good coach.
Mike McDaniel too.
But he's also a good coach. There's a lot of good coaches who seem to come from here. Just saying. Just saying. The Cal Shanahan coaching tree is growing and growing.
Could anybody kind of sleeper wise be Puka Nacua or Brock Purdy? I mean,
it's the hardest question. It's the question we always
Joe Milton.
Yeah,
but then that means Jaden Daniels is not playing. So.
Yeah,
it's always going to be somebody we least expect. That's what it is.
You know what's funny though, if you think about Jaden Daniels and Milton, is if you go back to the 2012 draft, you had RG3 and Kirk Cousins, right? So you had RG3 as a first rounder and Kirk Cousins as like a 7th rounder.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened, Yep. So Joe Milton supposedly can throw the ball 100 yards.
Wow.
But I think he was late pick. Obviously, Jaden Daniels is going to have all the opportunities to play, but that would be crazy. Or maybe Joe Milton gets traded. Who knows?
Go after that. Basically, does telling you to buy them Joe Miltons.
Yeah. I'm looking right now. I will say I did just do some rookie sleepers, and again, these are going to be names that are probably. You tell me if you guys know these.
Corum.
We got Jalen Wright, Dolphins, 4th round pick, running back. I could see that doesn't shock me. A running back picked in the top 4 rounds
for which team?
For the Dolphins. For Mike
kind of
McDaniel.
Crowded already though.
It is, but if there's one thing we've seen, they just plop a running back there and you can get 200, 300 yards. Tyrone Tracy Jr., Giants running back, is gonna get carries now with no Saquon. Brendan Rice, wide receiver for the Chargers. That's a name I do remember hearing in the draft. Late round guy.
Jerry Rice's son.
Is that Jerry Rice's son? Well, there you go. I mean, that might be the guy.
Barely made the team, but, still.
With Jim Harbaugh in tow, that might be the guy. Is it finally Herbie? Come on now. You got a lineman. Come on. It's time.
I mean, Harbaugh is the quarterback whisperer. I mean, it might not be a bad opportunity to
Just
buy
saying.
some
Herbert's
Herberts.
still like it's shocking. I was looking at some quarterback rankings, and a lot of people still rank Herbert pretty high amongst all the quarterbacks. He's still easily like a top 10 quarterback. People are ranking the current quarterbacks in the league.
I don't think it's I mean, look.
But I don't know why.
Again, I'm not the best voice to be saying this because I always liked Justin Herbert. I don't think that's a controversial take at all to say he's a top 10 quarterback in the league. I think that's a pretty standard take.
Oh.
I think it's.
Well, can you honestly rank now that we have 2 years? Can you rank Herbert over Purdy? Who would you pick?
I'd pick Purdy
Probably
over Herbert,
not.
bro.
Yeah, probably not at this point.
Purdy's easily over Herbert. What the hell?
And yet, but there's still things where I'm like, the skill set is so obviously in the side of Herbert for me.
Maybe in like farther
But
distance.
I don't know. But at the same
Maybe in
time, the
hair.
results are there.
Clearly in hair.
The
Yeah.
result that's Purdy to me did quiet all the concerns I had last year. They're all gone. Like he's a guy. He's the dude, and he is a dude. But man, I'm
Would
I'm
Purdy
still
be
holding on.
would Purdy be good on the Chargers? That's a good question.
I don't know. It's a good question, and I genuinely think Herbert would be insane on the Niners. Like Herbert with the Niners, this team would be ridiculous. So
Well, that's you. Then that's you saying that you think Herbert's clearly better
I
than
guess
Purdy.
it is. I don't know.
If you put Herbert on the Niners, and you're saying he's going to be insane.
But at the same time, I guess I am like at the point where no, I think Purdy's probably good most anywhere at this point.
We shall see
It's just
going into year
always
3.
that final pick of the draft is always going to hang over. Like God, he was the last pick in the draft.
Yeah, for Purdy,
crazy.
like
What
for
did everyone know
Purdy's
that
sake, I
we-
hope he has a great year so he can get that that
Yeah.
big bag. You know what I mean?
If he repeats what he did last year, we have to stop talking about it. I think we pretty much have.
Well, the crazy stat is QBR. If he has 3 games this year of 120 quarterback rating, he will have the most in any first 3 seasons of all time.
Yeah, I mean,
He only needs 3 this year.
yeah.
So that shows you how efficient he was. Had the high. I mean, arguably should have won the MVP over Mahomes or over Lamar last year.
Yeah.
Just Lamar beat him in that game, and
that
I
was
think
that was
it.
a pivotal game.
That
you guys
that
had to
changed
win.
the entire
Yeah,
MVP
he had to
conversation.
win that one.
Yeah, because I was like at
that was the
100 to 1.
MVP game.
I was 100-1 on my bet, and once that game happened, I knew I was screwed.
Yeah.
So
Damn, 100-1. Jeez.
I do want to ask because we kind of touched on Herbert, who I think is one of those guys who is in the like the most to gain or the most to lose hobby wise. I think it's kind of like Herbert has been such a hobby darling for a long time, and obviously on the field too. But like, I do feel like if the Chargers with Jim Harbaugh now can't make the playoffs, the shine on him is going to go away really, really fast.
I also
No
would
more
give
excuses.
I would also give them at least a year to put it together, right? Like I don't necessarily expect them to do anything great this year, but I mean, because at the end of the day, if you look at that team, they're still not. They still have so many missing
There's
pieces.
a lot of holes.
So I'll judge them with the Harbaugh era and Herbert era together. Not this year, maybe, but obviously you want to see some improvement for sure.
Fair or not, though, I do think there's going to be a lot of a lot of fans. I don't know how many fans you can really talk about with Chargers. But
For real. I didn't even know there's any Charger fans in real life.
By the way, that did remind me there was a great Mad Dog Chris Russo rant last week. He's like, I'm in LA right now. I haven't heard them talk about the Chargers once. Does this team exist? Why are they here? They
There's
should be in San
nobody
Diego.
in LA talking about the Chargers.
No one cares.
Not the media,
No one
not
cares.
any fans, not anybody on the street.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
said,
It's like when you move your team all the time, like the Raiders. They don't have any fans.
right.
Same thing.
That said, when I was
We moved to the
But they
same
actually
places.
might have more
Oakland,
LA
and
Raider fans.
Vegas,
Yeah,
dude.
when I was I was on my way home from the Burbank show. We were in the Orange County airport. I think they are still kind of like they're trying to make them like this is Orange County's team. Like the Angels are Orange County's team. Like I think they're trying to do that. I don't know if that's working because I saw a lot more Charger stuff in the stores and like Charger stuff was on TV. Didn't see any Ram stuff. So they're clearly angling like this is where we're gonna have to get our fan base because it's not working. It's just not happening. And the San Diego fans didn't stay; they all abandoned ship.
John in the chat said Stafford over Purdy. Stafford's like 80 years old. I mean, come on now. Jeez.
Who's else? I like that
maybe in
pick.
2009. Maybe when he had Megatron.
Maybe.
Stafford, yes.
How about Bryce Young? Is this is it too early to be a make or break year, or are we at?
Not in the NFL these days, because
like a Justin
The teams will move on.
Yep.
Like they'll draft you, and then they'll draft Rosen, and then take Kyler Murray the next year.
Yeah.
I
mean, how many 2011 or 2021 quarterbacks are still on their same team?
Yeah.
4 of them are gone.
Mac
Only
Jones.
1 remains.
Yeah.
I think that everybody's seeing the path to a successful team is having a Brock Purdy for 4 years, because then when it gets time to pay him, you can't have any other talent around him. So it's like that's why it was so easy for the Bears to move on from Fields, I think, because it's like obviously they had the first pick, but now you have Caleb Williams for 4 years where you can build talent around him and pay him only $5 million, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Until then in 4 years he's going to want Jordan Love money. Trevor Lawrence is getting $55 million a year. That's insane. He didn't done anything. He lost a 28-point lead game and just completely fell apart last year. So why did we give this guy $55 million?
Yeah. Speaking of Trevor Lawrence, make or break year.
I mean, he's the only one for the 2021 rookie class right now.
He's the last hope.
We need him. I mean, we don't have many 2021
Depends on how you
products,
feel about Justin Fields' prospects in Pittsburgh. But you're right. As it stands right now, it's Trevor Lawrence, and that's it.
I mean, it's actually going to be a Jamar Chase 2021 product soon, because that's going to be the only guy.
Nah, T-Law.
I
think T-Law is going to have a good long career as a starting quarterback. So he'll carry that 2021 torch for a long time, I think.
That
division's tougher, though.
Yeah, that AFC South got a lot harder quicker than they had anticipated. I think the Jaguars looked at the last, like when they won the division, they looked like 2-3 years in the future and were like, we got this division on lock for like the next 3-4 seasons. We're fine. And then here come the Texans out of nowhere, and it's like feels like now the Texans are the darlings of that division, and
they are.
Probably will be. Yeah. So I think the Jags at this point, best case scenario, is their wild card team.
I think the Colts will have a better record than them.
The Colts almost made the playoffs last year. They were 1 game away.
Yeah.
With your guy,
dude. I know. I like Anthony Richardson a lot. And I think when healthy, he's he's freaking awesome. But the health is a big thing. I don't know.
Yeah, because he got hurt like 3 times last year.
Yeah, it's like, and it's like he's like barely getting touched too. It's like that part is super scary, and I think that's why he was drafted high in fantasy, because a lot of people do believe in his ability, but that's also why a lot of people feel like he's overvalued in fantasy because of that injury thing. And I would be super scared about the injury thing.
I mean, that's a good question off topic here, but on the topic of Anthony Richardson, we're seeing his cards go for like stupid amounts, right?
Crazy,
like,
yeah.
Literally him and Stroud, like almost the same price. Like, I mean, and you got one guy that has one great year, and then one guy that didn't even really play last year. So, I mean, if you're in the camp, if you have some Richardson cards, would you be selling them now?
Sell now.
So
the hype's going to be hot. Yeah.
Sell now.
And
his prices justify selling now too. It's like you said, they're damn near CJ Stroud prices. So it's like we actually seen what CJ Stroud did last year. Have pretty much one of the best quarterback rookie seasons ever, and he missed 2 games too.
Yeah,
and he broke some records, missing 2 full games.
As much as I hate to say it, I think Puka Nacua should have won the Rookie of the Year last year. But
you're always going to go the QB. It's always going to go the
but
QB.
he had the greatest rookie receiver season of all time.
I will say the other knock to me against Anthony Richardson, it's not just the injury stuff. It's not just that we haven't seen it. It's also like at the college level, it was always kind of like, well, the potential's there, the talent's all there. It just hasn't all come together on the field. Like, he didn't do it in college. He's been hurt here.
Well, the thing is that
when's it going to happen?
The thing about last year was that the when he was on the field,
there were flashes of greatness.
Like he was taking care of business.
Right.
But there wasn't a lot of it because he got injured.
I'm still in the I need to see this over an extended period of time. We've just literally never seen it from Anthony Richardson.
We need it for 2023 products too, because he's
100%.
the guy. Because if you look forward to what Panini's going to have in 2024, all they're going to have is J.J. McCarthy and Penix, right? So it's like,
Penix ain't going to play for a while, dude. He ain't going to be playing for a while.
And McCarthy's potentially out for the year?
For the whole season,
He
probably.
is definitely out for the whole season.
But Panini might have done.
And I thought he was going to be the biggest upside early.
I know, and he would have had all the. I mean, he still is, but
he would have thrown to Justin Jefferson.
No, you know what we always talk about though? The injury probably actually helps his market.
Sometimes, yeah, because you don't see him suck.
Yeah.
The unknown.
Exactly.
You don't see him suck.
It's true.
It's all still hype, but like I bet you Panini did fist pump though when they named Jacoby Brissett the starter for the New England Patriots. Like, yes, because we didn't sign Drake May. Good decision. But they have Jaden Daniels and Caleb and Bo Nix.
Is
still,
he the only? Well, no. So Penix isn't starting.
He's not going to be
obviously.
starting for a while. Probably.
pending injury?
Nick's starting.
Yes.
So Nix, Daniels, Williams all starting.
Yep.
McCarthy probably would have started.
He would have. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
Drake
I don't know
May's
what the Patriots.
behind
I don't know.
Brissett?
Brissett is is the starter.
He will. Drake May will be the starter. Let's just put the over under week 7.
Yeah. I
Is
was gonna say,
Brissett going to
like,
get
6
somehow get
games
like
in.
a cortisone shot in his lung and he's going to poke a hole through it, and then we're going to have Drake May playing? Because that's how it seems like how rookie
That's
quarterbacks
how it
get their
happens.
start sometimes. Poor Tyrod Taylor, man, had such bad luck.
The most cursed career in the NFL.
Brissett's like right up there too, though. That's what I'm saying. Like
But
I
every
feel like
time Brissett plays, he does. You're like, this guy can play.
he's good. Yeah.
This guy's not bad.
Tyrod's in a good backup position this year, though. So
Where is he at?
Yeah, where is he at?
I think he's backing up Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, is he really? I didn't realize he's the backup for the Jets.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
they went through the Zach Wilson experience and whoever the other guy was. Who was the other guy?
Bye-bye.
So
Who was the other quarterback they
Oh,
started?
God.
Tim Boyle or something like that? Or
Yeah, I don't know.
That was tough.
The answer
Dude,
to,
this
the
is
answer
the
to a
thi-
trivia question in 5 years, that's who they started.
this is the thing about why I like the Jets so much, because it's like
Because you love Gary Vee.
not only that, but also because, dude, they were such a competitive team the entire season, with probably the worst quarterback situation you could ever be in
What was their record last
for
year?
2 years in a row.
It wasn't very good. It was like 6-10.
They were almost 500.
What was the Jets record? last year?
They were. I want to say they were like 7 and 10. I could be wrong. I'll
Maybe they
double
hung
check.
on there till the last 3 or 4
They
weeks.
they were in it for
You guys will
most
see
of that
starting
season.
Monday night. You guys will see starting Monday night.
They were in. Let's see.
Oh, I mean, I mentioned Stafford. What's up? 7-10. Okay.
Yep,
So-
7 and 10. So yeah, they were hanging in there for most of the season. Did they have Joe Flacco at one point and then cut him, or was it the
No.
year before?
That was the Browns.
No, I know they had him, and then obviously then
Yeah, the
Joe,
year
he
before
this
they had Flacco.
transcendent. Yeah, that's what it was. The year before, and
That
then
Mike
the
White.
Browns had Flacco, and then suddenly Flacco became Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, they had
Flacco
Mike
again.
White. I feel bad for
Mike
Mike White.
White, yeah.
Mike White hasn't got a good shot.
That's who it was, by the way.
I think he's like 5-0 in all of his starts too. Like he's actually
He
winning
he
games.
had some good games in New York, yeah. But they wanted to keep trying out Zach Wilson, so
Kept trying.
first rounder. You locked into it.
Now he's
Yeah.
the backup in Denver.
That's right.
Jeez.
Who's the star of Bo Nix, right?
It's Bo Nix.
And
yeah.
then where'd Stidham go? Is he gone?
Stidham is so Zach Wilson might be third string. He might be third on the depth chart, which is rough. Or he might not be playing. I don't know.
no, I think he made the team.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean,
Rough.
I'm worried about Trevor Lawrence. If you're, we have a gold vinyl 101 from Phoenix auto patch. Worried about that card right now. Because I mean, also this hobby has extreme amounts of ADD, and 2021 might as well be 30 years ago. So
It's crazy.
you know, everybody wants what's now or maybe last year. So
We were also incredibly spoiled in 2020. Like, now, really, that one, looking back, is like, what an insane class.
Still,
that ended up being.
still. It's amazing that all of them are still viable.
Yep.
Now.
Yep. I mean,
Right.
I know Burrow hurt last year, but like, I don't think anyone's doubting him coming back
How
this
good?
year.
Nobody's doubting how good he is.
No, if anything, I think there's a lot of like, man, the Bengals are gonna, people are gonna remember why this guy was so highly touted. Like, I'm excited to see him play again.
I think Kyler Murray is make or break year. I mean, we say it every
Definitely a
year.
make or
Also, that's like a 50 years ago in
And
hobby.
with that said, I think he's gonna have a great year until Call of Duty comes out.
Every year. That guy needs to just give it up, man.
I mean, he's got McBride. He's
All
got
right,
Harrison.
Let's see. Let's look it up. New Call of Duty. I don't even know. Is there a new Call of Duty
Yeah,
this year?
there is.
Yeah,
There's,
of
there's
course
always
there
a new Call of Duty. Yeah.
2024. We got to know the release date.
Just never a GTA. It's
Black
15
Ops
years.
6 comes out when? I don't know. If anyone in the chat knows.
Dude,
What is it?
Speaking of
October
GTA 6, when
October
GTA
9th.
6 comes out,
Ooh,
the whole
jeez.
world's gonna stop
Well, yeah.
for a day.
Is there a date for you?
We don't
No.
know. October 9th, that's
But I
bad news for the
guarantee-
Cardinals. That's early. That is early. They better pray when is their bye week.
I mean, when do you ever hear of like, you hear the news that a team's like telling a dude to make sure he studies?
I know.
When do you ever hear
Especially
that?
a quarterback.
Like,
Especially a quarterback.
So there's got to be some truth to that rumor that he's really in a COD.
Beta is already out. So, yeah. So, there you go. So,
oh, it's already over.
it's already over.
He's
dude.
already toast.
No, but I think Kyrie.
Two-win season coming
I think
up.
Kyler Murray will have a big year. Yeah, probably have his best season since maybe his rookie season.
I sure hope so. He's when he.
I mean, I want him to have a decent season, but I want him to be like 7 and 10 or something.
Yeah, that's fine. But there are every year he makes that one play where that reminds you, like, oh, that's why he went number one. Like, nobody else, like, that's Mahomes level. No one else can do this
dude.
stuff.
He like when he's on, dude. He makes people miss like in the pocket. I'm like, damn, nobody can tackle this fool. He's hella small.
Yeah, he'd be the Mojo Mouse if we were doing Cardinals players.
Did you guys see this going before we get to the QB stuff? Did you see this? I forget what college it was. I was watching Sports Center, and there's a guy on a college QB right now who has the same exact haircut as Patrick Mahomes, walks in with the same sunglasses as Patrick Mahomes. He wears number 15, and he's throwing the exact same way. Everything, the little sidearm flick. If anyone in the chat knows who it is, he actually was pretty good too.
Where does he play?
I couldn't. It was like a
Texas
small
Tech?
college.
No,
Yeah, I know, right? It was like a small college. I can't remember his name, but yeah, I was like, this is getting to like, we are now entering the, oh damn, Steph Curry broke basketball for young kids because they're all trying to be Steph Curry. It's like, did Patrick Mahomes just break the quarterback position because they're all trying to do the little trick flip plays and behind the backs, and I don't know. It was the first sign of like, oh, something's in the water. Something changed. That was interesting.
We are doing this live, so. But John mentions he's waiting for Leisure Suit Larry to be released. Is anybody old enough to know that game?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know.
I know Leisure Suit.
I was I remember playing it like 11 years old. I'm all, whoa. And this is like on like,
Xbox
8-bit days or something. No.
Oh, no, yeah. Well, they did a re-release. They did one on like Xbox and PS2 years ago, but no, the original is like, yeah, I mean, let's be honest. It's like 8-bit porn is what it was.
Yeah. Just
corn. not with the P. Corn.
If I remember it correctly,
We're
it
all
was just a
adults
guy
here.
that was just trying to hook up with girls, right? That's what
I
a Leisure Suit Larry.
believe so.
I think it was you go to a bar and you had like dialogue, you had to like kind of win, and yeah.
It's like Oregon Trail for adults.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's dating video games, but it wasn't as subtle as some of those, Subtle may not be the word I'm looking
Dude, I
for.
remember this game. I don't even know what it was called, but Commodore 64, which really shows my age here. But it was a game where you had to like make this guy live. He had like a house, so you could see all the floors and everything, and you had to make sure he had food and stuff. And he would like knock on your screen if he was hungry and stuff, like like. But he wouldn't really talk. It'd be like womp womp, like Charlie Brown, And then you'd like have to like let his dog out and stuff, and it was mind breaking.
That sounds like The Sims.
I was about to
me.
say
it was before the
it
Sims,
was the
though.
precursor to The Sims.
It was.
That sounds like The Sims to me because I played The Sims as a teenager.
Man, yeah.
You gotta like make sure they go to the bathroom and all that joint.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, my sister was obsessed with that game.
Yeah.
Like built like families of 5. And I'm like, how long have you been playing this? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
So let's get into all right. So if you had $500 to spend on one QB, what card would you buy and which player? And if you had $10,000 to spend on one QB, so you got the best of both worlds here. Who would you invest in going into this season and why?
and it's got to be. I think
Am
we
I
should
spending
set-
the 10,000 the 500 on the same player or?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. And it's got to be an active QB. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I think that's obvious, but yeah.
I mean, I'll start it off. I think for me, with my $500, I am actually going to buy 5 PSA 10 prisms of Jalen Hurts that are around $100 right now for the base prisms, or find the lowest numbered prism at the $500 route because I think he's supremely undervalued. He's usually the first quarterback going in fantasy drafts. I don't like the Eagles. I hate the Eagles, but I think out of those guys in the 2020 class, he's one of the cheaper ones. He's cheaper than Tua. He's cheaper than Herbert. He's cheaper than Burrow.
What about Love?
Yeah. So he's
cheaper
like
than Love,
literally
too? Wow.
Love has like his big cult following in the hobby. I mean, there's a lot of cheeseheads out there, I guess. And I just feel like Hurts has got a lot of room to grow, especially with all the fantasy attention that people are going to have and have him on their squad. I think he does a little, does what he did last year basically, and especially the start of the season, I think he goes up. For my $10,000 pick, I'm going with a Contenders Optic. Probably have to be a PSA 9 of Patrick Mahomes auto.
Still Patty, huh? For the high end.
Yeah, just to get that auto, that's something that's going to be a top 5 set. Obviously, National Treasures is going to be the most valuable.
You said Contenders Optic or
Contenders Optic, yeah. Which actually surpassed some of the Prism or some of the regular Contenders prices.
Not the cracked ice though.
Not the cracked ice, no.
Yeah.
But that's number 23.
Yeah.
And we have Drunken Miller in the chat. Yeah, good pick.
Okay. Let's see. For me, $500.
Minshew, right? How you gonna get 500 Minshew?
AOCs.
$500, man. Who would I invest in terms of like some low end stuff? Shoot, dude. Well, how much does a raw Stroud Silver go for? So I can't even get a one raw Stroud Silver for $400 for a raw. Whew, man.
That's tough.
That is tough. Shoot, man. Because as in terms of the young guys, I really like him. Obviously, still has so much of a ceiling. I feel like on Stroud, but
and you're catching the early hype still with products coming out. Still,
yeah, exactly. So it'd be something decent of Stroud that I could get that's raw for $500. I would be investing in him in terms of the younger players. Something like. If I had to get the Silver Prism raw for $400, I'd go for that. But I'm trying to think of like what else could probably be decent. Like maybe a Optic Hollow Silver. You can maybe get 2 of those for $400. Maybe Optic Hollow Silver, which not as sought after as Silver Prism, but I mean they look just as nice if you can get a good decent one. I'm trying to think what else. You could probably get some numbered different levels of the Select Prisms.
Yep.
Of Stroud for $500. You know what I'm saying? They added a new level this year, the Sweet level. So I don't know what the pecking order is anymore, but I'm assuming the Field level is still the most rare one. Looking forward to that parking level next year.
Garbage can parallel.
So that'd be who I'd be investing with $500. Try to get a couple of Strouds, low end Strouds that could possibly grade well. That could maybe pick up for under $500, and then maybe possibly grade well, and it'd be worth more. But in terms of like, if I had $10K, honestly, dude, I'd go for that Aaron Rodgers, rookie
on the Packers.
Yeah, on here. But it's funny that we got both his teams on here. But I'll be getting an Aaron Rodgers rookie if I had $10K. Aaron Rodgers, what is it?
You could probably get the exquisite RPA for a lot less than that. $6,000, $7,000.
Yeah, get a couple of those because I feel like
a gold top chrome.
This is and I made the gamble last year, and I took a future bet with the Jets last year. Obviously, didn't work out. I lost that bet within 1 minute of the season starting.
At least you ripped the Band-Aid off.
But I think legitimately, if the Jets were going to win a Super Bowl, it's going to be this year. So that's where I would be going with my $10K, investing on some Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, to Trevor's point in the chat, Gary's probably not watching this. You don't have to, you don't have to do that.
Well, it doesn't matter if Gary's watching that. I can show you my futures $200-$300 bet from last year.
You know how lame we are? Dan bought a Jets shirt, and he's going to wear it on Monday.
Come on!
That's how lame we are.
Come on!
Good job, Dan.
Okay, then, we clearly have to bring it on Monday with the Niner gear.
Yeah.
We're going all out.
Oh, God.
We're just going to be in full pads.
Yeah.
Helmet and pads.
Yeah.
There you
go. Got to represent. We got to just deck out the whole.
We're going all out. Come on now. That's ridiculous. It's insane.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers is probably. What the crazy thing is
that
Leonard Floyd is the one who ruptured the Achilles last year. You know what team he's on, right?
No.
From the Niners.
That's right.
Oh,
and it's Monday night.
Oh no.
That's okay because he rebuilt that joint. It's like super strong now. It's like metal in there.
Look, regardless,
he's like a mutant. He's like an X-Men mutant now.
It will be one of the most intriguing storylines, if not the most intriguing storyline of the NFL season. Is what can he do?
A lot of people actually have the Jets winning the AFC this year too. So
the AFC East
it's not a fluke, man. They improved that. They went out and made sure they built an entire offensive line because they knew that was the big issue on offense last year.
Another division where I feel like as the season went on, you started to see the cracks in like some of the two top teams. Bills, although performed better as the year went on, but still, I think both teams underperformed. Yeah, and both teams underperformed.
And arguably are not as good this year.
Right.
So
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm trying not to be. I was like, do I really?
Herbert.
Yeah. Look, so I had to look it up. What's Joe Burrow's stuff going for? And the Silver Prisms are a little higher raw. They're in the 250 on the low end to 400 on the high end.
No, it's not Sherbert.
I mean, if I'm trying to go value, Herbert's probably the better choice of the two. But I also really, really believe in Joe Burrow this year. Like, I think Joe Burrow is a low-key MVP candidate this year. I just think he's got so much to prove. And it's another year. Jamar, he'll be on the field at some point. Like, I'd just be shocked if he's not. So I'm gonna go with Burrow as my low end, and high end I'm gonna be boring.
You'd be shocked. I think Burrow is cheaper than Herbert. Herbert is like
it's about the same.
Herbert
right
is like
now.
a hobby unicorn. He's like Luka, where like guys have not done anything in their career, and people still pay tons of money for these guys.
He is.
No.
I'm seeing some selects here, some select and optic
Luka
rookies.
went to the Super Bowl last year. Which Super Bowl did Herbert go to?
Nothing wrong with Silver.
Yeah. I'm looking at some optic silver rookies of Burrow that are like well below 200. So you know what? I might just stash up a bunch of those raw, see if they grade well. Then I'll go Burrow as my low end guy, and then I'm gonna go with the best Patrick Mahomes card that 10K can buy me. I just need to stash that away forever and.
It's a guarantee.
Not
with
think
the
about
three.
it.
I mean, even
It's
if
a
he
guarantee.
falls off, you're still going to have some value there.
It's a guarantee. It's the easy choice. If I want to maybe take a little more of a risk, I might go after a higher end Lamar Jackson card. That's my one. Like, if I want to be a little risky, might do that. Because I do think
feeling a little frisky.
Baltimore is still in that top tier for me, and like they weren't that far away from beating the Chiefs last year. I know it was an ugly game, and it felt like the Chiefs dominated that game, but like the scoreboard was. They had a shot to win that game late and go to the Super Bowl. So I might make the risky bet and go Lamar.
You go Lamar and Herbert, and you have a Harbaugh Bowl again for the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, that would be something. That would not be good for Herbert and the Chargers if it goes the way it did the first time. So.
That's for sure. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, and obviously card values right now of quarterbacks are super high. So you got to kind of, if you're buying now, you got to have the right guy if you're looking to flip. Some people don't sell cards. But.
Yeah, I'll also throw out Justin Fields as like if you're trying to buy low. I don't hate that.
I think Russell Wilson starts also 17 games this year though.
You think he starts every game,
even though he's a scrub and he's not a Hall of Famer. I think that Fields is far more of a scrub. Than Russell Wilson.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But I mean, you never know. He could get injured, and then we see Fields.
All it takes is that's the thing, and it's not like Russell Wilson. He ain't no spring chicken. Like this is near the end of his career, and I think Fields could sneak. And I think still the plan is I think for Pittsburgh to be like low key. Justin Fields is the long-term starter here.
Where's Kenny Pickett at?
Philly, Eagles. He's the backup.
He is the backup
for Jalen Hurts, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone
crazy.
above him. I know. Another one where 2 years later, there's one guy in that draft, QB-wise.
And it was the last one.
One guy.
It was the last one taken.
Yep.
Also, guys, if we're talking football, you can get into a break. Use code NFL 2024 to get yourself 13% off any break on Mojobreak.com, any football break that is. So get up on the selects, the one. We're doing Panini 1. We've got composite. So get in those breaks. The CRad's also going to be running a big mixer on Sunday as well, which you may or may not be able to get entered in to win some Super Bowl tickets, which is huge. But stay tuned for that. And I think that's pretty much all we got for today's show, guys. So, go Niners, and we'll see you next week. I'll be coming in. We'll call it Victory Wednesday. I know it's usually Victory Monday, but Victory Wednesday. And hopefully, who are the Raiders playing this weekend?
I believe we are playing. Dang, who are we playing? I think we're playing with somebody in the AFC. It might be against the Charge. I'm not 100% sure.
Chargers.
Actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chargers
In SoFi.
in San Angeles.
So extra home game.
For the Raiders.
Extra home game for the Raiders.
We didn't pick, before we let you guys go, we didn't pick our Super Bowl.
Super Bowl,
matchup,
I was about to say. Super Bowl picks. Let's hear them.
Oh, man. Yeah. I know I say Raiders every year, but yeah, I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'll go Jets, bro.
Jets over.
Jets over, I guess, the Niners.
Okay.
Which was my same pick last year. If you remember our podcast.
That was your pick.
That was what the Hard Knocks pick was too. Remember that guy, the magician,
And with the reverse score.
Yep. It's hard not to be a homer here, especially when your team is on paper number one. Niners over Texans.
That's funny. I was going to say Niners over Texans too.
So you guys both think that the Texans are gonna be able to knock off the Chiefs?
A lot of this is wishful thinking. I will be completely honest, because in the back of my mind, I'm
or is it
like,
just because you guys don't want to face the Chiefs in the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to face the Chiefs, and I don't want to face the reality that this is probably going to be a three-peat for the Chiefs. If we really want to be honest, that's what it's. There's a feeling in the back of my head of like it's inevitable. Patrick Mahomes, is inevitable.
I think one of the big storylines I saw on ESPN, they talked about it too, is Aaron Rodgers is the last big quarterback from that generation, and he needs to beat Patty Mahomes almost to kind of like cement his legacy even further.
That's a good point.
Because Brady did it, right?
Yeah.
And from that generation, he's looked at as one of the greatest, right? Breeze is retired, Peyton's retired, Brady's retired. He's like the last one. So, I want to see it happen. Will they get it done? I don't know, but they certainly have a good enough defense.
And I'm sorry if I'm opening a can of worms here, like right as we're walking out, but like a Super Bowl victory at this age, after what he went through in this era, his second one, does that firmly put him, if we're lumping him into that Manning, Breeze, Brady, him, kind of all lumping him together, I know he's on the younger end of that, does that firmly put him like second to Brady in that? Or is it still Manning?
More MVPs, right?
Yeah. Manning statistically, there's no question.
Here's the thing, though.
And Manning does have two. That second one, though,
yeah,
was not him.
Peyton Manning is always going to be my favorite quarterback to watch ever, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when you got to break down the stats, I guess, to really like you said, Rodgers probably has more MVPs though, right?
Yeah. And you could argue, yeah, I mean, talent-wise, too, there's an argument to be made that there's few, if any, more talented than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Who's ever played.
I mean, he's going to
be
be top 5 for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, over Peyton, I'm not
doing it either.
I don't know if I'm doing that yet.
Well, Jets fan. I mean, 1969 was the last time the Jets won the Super Bowl. It was Super Bowl III.
It's been a long time. Super Bowl?
The OG?
3.
The original?
3.
With Joe Namath.
Joe Willie Namath wearing a mink coat saying we're going to win the whole damn thing.
Yeah, you know what?
And they have 0 conference championships.
The Beatles were still together. Actually, they might have just
dude. If the Jets make it to Super Bowl, I gotta see Rodgers had to throw on that mink coat.
Wait.
Going to the game.
When was it Super Bowl January of '69? Wait, when did we land on the moon?
It was a while ago.
Crazy.
Wait, I should know this off the top of my head. I should know this. Okay, July 16th of 1969, Super Bowl III date. Oh man, I'm sorry, Jets fans. Super Bowl III was when? No, come on, real quick. Super Bowl III was. We had not landed on the moon the last time the New York Jets won the Super Bowl.
That's crazy.
There you go.
I don't think we still have landed on the moon. But,
That's tinfoil hat stuff.
but yeah, they don't even have a conference. They didn't have conferences back then, so they've never even won an AFC championship.
They haven't even been back. They went twice to the AFC championship. I haven't been back.
No, they haven't. Oh, you're right.
They went those 2 year back-to-back years with Mark
2002,
Sanchez.
1998, maybe.
Oh no, they've been back 3 times. Because didn't they go back-to-back years with Mark Sanchez? Or they go just that
I
once?
think that once. Yeah, that
Okay.
was.
And then lost to the
Ryan.
Patriots.
They lost to the Colts. Yeah. Anyway,
Crazy.
Jets. Super Bowl history.
They are kind of deserving it. Maybe it'll be a Lions Jets championship, and then that.
Good Lord.
Oh my God, I forgot
And then
I forgot about the Lions.
The world explodes.
I also like the Lions a lot this year, dude.
I do too.
'cause
That NFC North is dangerous.
They were so close to beating you guys.
Well, they're
and then-
clearly the second team if you're going off the pre-rankings.
Yeah.
Everybody's second favorite NFC team.
But yeah,
So-
I'm sticking with Jets, man. Jets, let's do it, man. They have the defense to do it. Average quarterback play from Rodgers, and they're gonna be in it, dude. They're gonna be in it. Because you guys don't understand. I watched a lot of Jets games the last 2 years,
What's a J?
and Zach Wilson is
Booty.
he's something.
John David Booty.
He was John David Booty with a capital B. That's what he was.
He was something to watch. It's like, yeah, it's pretty frustrating. Yeah.
Well, if you want to see one of the biggest Jets fans, tune in to Fanatics Live Monday, September 9th, right before the Jets-Niners game. And we'll be in
We'll all be
shop
there.
with Gary V, opening
Jay.
up some Series 1 and giving it away. I think we might be drinking some special New York beer as well. So stay tuned for that. Maybe we'll shotgun some beers on Fanatics Live. We'll run that by them, see if it's okay.
If that's legal, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if that's okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Isn't there like a thing to do, like a YMCA?
I think so. I don't know how to do it though.
Yeah, it's hard to contort your body into a J.
Yeah.
We tried.
All right, guys. Well, we'll leave you guys at that, and we'll see you guys next week on The Hype. Thanks for listening. Peace.
Peace.